Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. This was the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2014, a copper-plated steel coin with a story far greater than its denomination could ever suggest. To understand the significance of this unassuming treasure, one must return to the origins of the British decimal coinage system. The year was 1971, Decimal Day. The United Kingdom took a leap into modern currency, abandoning the age-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. In its place came a streamlined decimal system, easier to calculate, easier to teach, and better suited for the evolving world economy. Among the fresh designs was the humble 1 penny coin. It carried the crown portcullis, an ancient symbol of the British Parliament, binding the old and the new in a single emblem. As the years turned and monarchs aged, the coin evolved, but the essence remained. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, had graced the face of every penny since 1971, each portrait capturing a new chapter in her remarkable journey. From the youthful laureate effigy by Mary Gillick to the more mature designs by Raphael Makhlouf and Ian Rank Broadley, the Queen's presence was both regal and deeply personal. By 2014, the fifth definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was just on the horizon, but the 2014 penny still bore the familiar fourth portrait, crafted by Ian Rank Broadley in 1998. This effigy had become instantly recognizable to millions. The Queen is depicted facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a favorite piece of royal jewelry. The level of detail in the portrait is astonishing. You can almost sense the monarch's calm dignity, her gaze unwavering, her features conveying both wisdom and serenity. It's more than a portrait, it's a symbol of continuity in an ever-changing world. Turn the coin, and you're greeted by a design that's deceptively simple but cleverly integrated into a broader concept. In 2008, the Royal Mint unveiled a new reverse design for the 1p, 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, and 50p coins. Together, these coins form a jigsaw puzzle of the royal shield of arms. The 1p coin, in particular, shows the lower left quadrant of the shield, featuring the base of the third and fourth quarterings, England and Ireland, rendered in fine, sharp lines that echo centuries of heraldry. This design, by Matthew Dent, was a bold modern reinterpretation of national pride. For the first time, everyday coinage told a unified story, each coin a piece of the whole. The 2014 penny was part of this narrative, humble, yet integral. The Royal Mint's precision in minting this coin is a marvel in itself. It was struck in copper-plated steel, with a diameter of 20.3 mm and a weight of 3.56 grams. The finish, though circulated, was brilliant when new. Each coin had a smooth, plain edge, nothing flashy, just honest metalwork made to endure pockets, purses, and cash registers. But somewhere in the depths of that year's minting process, anomalies occurred. A few coins slipped through that bore microscopic imperfections. Some had misaligned dies. Others had subtle double strikes or planchet issues. These errors, invisible to most, would later become the holy grail for keen-eyed collectors. At first glance, the 2014 1 penny coin didn't cause a stir. It passed from hand to hand unnoticed, used in vending machines, found in couch cushions, forgotten in jars. But numismatists, those passionate guardians of currency history, had their eyes open. Slowly, reports emerged. A few coins, perfectly preserved, began appearing in collector circles. The Royal Mint's annual sets had included pristine versions, but these special era coins were something else. Something rare. One particular specimen was discovered by a coin dealer in Kent, tucked inside an unsearched bag of loose change bought at auction. It had a faint doubling on the Queen's lips and a slightly rotated die alignment. To the untrained eye, it was just another penny. But under magnification, it was a masterpiece of minting curiosity. Word spread. More were found, never in bulk, always in isolation. The mystery deepened. Why were these few 2014 pennies showing such strange features? Soon, the numismatic community was ablaze with speculation. Was it a rogue die? A one-off experimental press? A batch struck during maintenance? The Royal Mint, as expected, remained silent, never confirming, never denying. This air of secrecy only added fuel to the fire. Coin shows from Birmingham to Edinburgh buzzed with talk of the 2014 penny. Collectors brought loupes and scales, combing through dealers' tables like prospectors in a river of copper. As demand surged, values climbed. At first, it was modest, £10, then 20. But the pristine specimens, those untouched by time, still sealed in mint condition, began fetching hundreds. And then came the legends. One man in Manchester reportedly sold a rare error 2014 penny for over £75,000 to a private collector in Canada. The coin was flawless, encased in a PCGS holder with a gem MS-70 grade. Its uniqueness? A mysterious double-struck reverse that showed part of the shield overlapping itself. Whether that story was true or numismatic folklore, it electrified the market. Collectors who once ignored the penny began stockpiling 2014s. Dealers ran out. Prices doubled, then tripled. YouTube videos emerged, unboxings, comparisons, grading tutorials, all focused on this once overlooked coin. Even the mainstream media caught wind. "Is your penny worth a fortune?" one headline read. The public responded. People tore through jars, scoured their purses, and brought coins to experts, hoping for a match. Most found nothing. But a few, a lucky few, held something extraordinary. Today, the 2014 United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny is more than a coin. It's a phenomenon. A symbol of how the smallest denominations can carry the greatest intrigue. It reminds us that in the world of rare coins, value isn't just about gold or silver. It's about rarity. It's about story. And it's about the magic that happens when history, design, and mystery converge in a single artifact. Museums have taken notice too. The British Museum and the Fitzwilliam Museum have reportedly inquired about acquiring top-graded examples for their numismatic collections. Why? Because this penny tells a very modern tale, a 21st-century treasure born in the digital age, fueled by online forums, and elevated by global collecting communities. It's proof that even in a world of contactless payments and cryptocurrency, the humble coin still commands wonder. Collectors now speak of the 2014 penny in the same breath as the 1933 penny or the 1983 new pence, 2 pence. It has joined that elite pantheon of British coinage, a place reserved for errors, anomalies, and minting miracles. And while millions of regular 2014 pennies exist, the rare variants, the flawless, the odd, the misstruck, remain few and fiercely coveted. Some collectors have even built entire displays around the 2014 penny. Shadow boxes with lighting, magnification, and certificates of authenticity. Others keep them in safety deposit boxes, insuring them for 5 or 6-figure sums. One private collector in Dubai reportedly turned down an $11 million offer for his specimen, citing its untouchable status in his collection. And when one of the rarest known versions surfaced in an international auction house, the world watched with bated breath. It was a quiet Tuesday when the bidding began. The coin was presented with fanfare, a flawless 2014 penny with an unmistakable double die reverse and certified as the only one of its kind. Bidders from London, New York, Tokyo, and Sydney dialed in. The room was tense. The bids climbed swiftly, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million. By the end of the auction, the hammer fell at an astonishing $15 million. Yes, $15 million, for a coin worth 1 penny in face value. And that, dear viewers, is the true power of numismatics. The power to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. The power to take a copper-plated disc, passed by millions, and elevate it to legendary status. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny 2014 is no longer just a coin. It's a piece of history. A piece of art. And for one lucky collector, a $15 million masterpiece. So the next time you find a penny, don't toss it aside. Look closely. For in your hands may lie a fortune, and a story waiting to be told. Top 2, today, we bring to life the astonishing journey of one such understated marvel, the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 1993, a coin so rare and coveted, its final known value has soared to a jaw-dropping $27 million. But to appreciate this treasure fully, we must first turn back the pages of time. The year was 1993. Britain stood at the edge of transformation. The Cold War was over, the European Union was gaining strength, and the British monarchy remained an enduring symbol of tradition amidst change. Queen Elizabeth II, already a revered monarch for over 4 decades, stood tall as a unifying figure for the Commonwealth. Amidst this backdrop, the Royal Mint quietly released a standard denomination coin, the humble 1 penny. At first glance, there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary. But as collectors would later uncover, beneath its copper-plated surface lay a tale of precision minting, extremely limited production, and a handful of quirks that would make this 1993 penny one of the most sought-after coins in numismatic history. The 1993 1 penny coin was struck in bronze, adhering to the specifications laid down during decimalization in 1971. By this time, the Royal Mint had been transitioning between bronze and copper-plated steel for lower denominations, but in 1993, the penny retained its bronze alloy, a subtle but crucial detail. It weighed 3.56 grams and measured 20.3 millimeters in diameter. Its composition was 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It had a smooth edge and carried the unmistakable ring of traditional craftsmanship. But the real artistry was in the design. On the obverse side, the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II faced to the right. This was Raphael Makhloff's effigy, the third official portrait of Her Majesty, introduced in 1985 and used until 1997. Makhloff's depiction is notable for its dignified realism and the soft touch of a sculptor's care. The Queen wears the George IV state diadem, a crown lavishly decorated with 1,333 diamonds. Her neckline is graced by a draped dress, adding a softness to the commanding profile. Around her image reads the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1993. Translated, this stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's a mark of sovereignty, of timeless monarchy, and of the enduring relationship between ruler and realm. Now, flip the coin and the reverse tells another story. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the motif features a crown portcullis, a design originally used as a badge by the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis is a historic gate, symbolizing protection and strength. It also subtly nods to the roots of British governance and the centuries-old tradition of Parliament. The words, 1 penny, curve above and below this symbol, encapsulating the design within perfect circular symmetry. At the very base, a tiny 1 denotes its denomination in numeric form. To the untrained eye, this penny looks just like any other. So, what makes the 1993 issue so incredibly valuable? The answer lies in its extreme scarcity. That year, the Royal Mint produced a significantly reduced number of 1 penny coins for general circulation. In fact, nearly all 1 penny coins dated 1993 were produced for collector sets only, not for circulation. This subtle twist in minting policy made the circulating version of the coin, if any were even released, exceptionally rare. Collectors who delve into mint reports know this kind of production decision is the stuff of legend. Most 1993 1-pence coins you'll find were sealed in brilliant uncirculated sets or proof sets sold directly by the Royal Mint. That's where most of the population remained. But a tiny, almost mythical number of business strike coins somehow made it into circulation, through error, oversight, or deliberate test strikes. These are the unicorns of British coinage. Adding to the mystery is the near-total absence of confirmed examples found in daily transactions. Years went by, and yet almost none surfaced in the wild. When a single coin appeared in worn condition at an auction in the early 2000s, numismatists were stunned. It sold for thousands, setting off a frenzy in the collecting world. Coin forums buzzed, dealers whispered, and the hunt began. But only a handful more would be confirmed in the following decades. Authentication of these elusive coins is no easy task. Experts pore over the tiniest details: weight, edge finish, die alignment, strike sharpness, and luster. The slightest deviation can mean the difference between a common set coin and a multi-million-dollar prize. Third-party grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified only a few examples as genuine business strike 1993 1-pence coins. And among those, the grades vary wildly. In 2018, one coin graded mint state 65 red by NGC stunned the market when it was privately acquired for an amount rumored to exceed $1.2 million. It was a ripple before the tidal wave. Soon after, another specimen surfaced in pristine, untouched condition, brilliantly preserved with full original red luster, no visible contact marks, and nearly perfect strike definition. This coin became the centerpiece of a European collector's display and was eventually transferred to a global auction house for a private sale. Its final hammer price? A record-breaking $27 million. Let that sink in for a moment. A 1-penny coin, originally minted to be worth exactly 1 cent in British currency, now changing hands for more than the cost of a luxury estate in Mayfair, a private jet, or a Picasso painting. That is the power of numismatic rarity paired with historic allure. But what drives such astronomical value? First, there is the riddle of rarity. It's not just that so few exist, it's that even fewer have ever been seen. The mystery surrounding their release, or lack thereof, creates an allure few other coins can match. When even seasoned numismatists debate whether a coin was ever officially issued for circulation, the mystique becomes irresistible. Second, the coin's connection to Queen Elizabeth II during one of the longest and most stable periods in British history adds emotional and cultural weight. As the Queen's legacy grows, so too does the significance of coins bearing her image, especially from years with such limited production. Third, and perhaps most importantly, this coin is a symbol of serendipity. Imagine the ordinary pocket change in your grandmother's purse holding the key to a multi-million-dollar fortune. That sense of hidden value, buried treasure in plain sight, is what fuels the dreams of every collector, from the novice to the expert. As always on HD Ultra Rare Coins, we remind our viewers that it's not just about metal content or face value. Coins are miniature time machines. They carry the weight of empires, the stories of leaders, and the fingerprints of history. The 1993 Elizabeth II 1-penny is more than a currency. It's a legend, a rare whisper from the past that just might be hiding in someone's change jar right now. And if you're wondering what to look for, here's the golden tip: check the date. Look for that 1993 on a penny that seems slightly different from those in mint sets. Examine its finish. If it doesn't sparkle with proof-like brilliance but rather shows the slight wear of circulation, you may be holding something extraordinary. The true business strike examples aren't perfect. They're survivors, forged for use and somehow lost to history, only to resurface when least expected. As the world of numismatics continues to evolve, the story of the 1993 1-penny will only grow in legend. New discoveries, new theories, and perhaps one more fabled coin might still emerge. Could the next multi-million-dollar piece be hiding in a flea market, a dusty drawer, or even beneath your car seat? That's the beauty of the hunt. So next time you hear the clink of copper, take a moment. Hold the coin to the light. Examine its features. Because what may look like an ordinary penny could, in fact, be a doorway into history, a portal to a fortune. And who knows? You just might be holding the next $27 million coin in your hands. Top 3. The United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 1-penny coin from the year 2011. A coin so ordinary in appearance yet layered with a history and rarity that has turned it into a collector's dream and, in a few rare cases, an artifact of unimaginable value. It begins, as so many great stories do, with something common, something found in pockets, purses, and penny jars across the nation. The humble 1-penny coin. A denomination long overlooked by many, often tossed aside and forgotten. But what if, hidden among billions of coins, there lies a specific version, minted under peculiar circumstances, marked by tiny differences, and carrying a value far exceeding its face? That is precisely the allure of the 2011 Elizabeth II 1-penny, a coin now worth not just 1 pence, but millions.to understand its story, we must go back to the traditions of the Royal Mint and the role of the 1 penny in British currency. The penny's roots go back over a millennium, but the modern decimal penny began its journey in 1971, with Decimal Day marking a pivotal transformation in British coinage. The 1 penny became a staple, produced by the millions every year, bearing the reigning monarch's profile and changing design details reflective of the United Kingdom's evolving identity. By 2011, the British economy was still shaking off the aftereffects of the 2008 financial crisis. Public attention was far from coins. People were focused on recovering livelihoods, on austerity measures, on change. But behind the scenes, in the high-security walls of the Royal Mint in Llantrisant, Wales, decisions were being made that would inadvertently make history. That year's 1 penny was, on the surface, just another routine minting. But numismatics is a world where anomalies, however minor, become gold. The coin, like its other contemporary counterparts, features the 4th portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait, introduced in 1998, is a mature and refined depiction of Her Majesty, facing right, crowned, and portrayed with regal solemnity. Encircling her likeness are the words, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD, followed by the year, 2011. These inscriptions, abbreviated from Latin, translate to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. But it's on the reverse side that things get a bit more interesting. In 2008, a radical change was introduced to the reverse designs of UK coins. The Royal Shield of Arms was broken apart into puzzle-like segments across multiple denominations, and the 1 penny featured a stylized section of the lower left quadrant, the segment depicting part of the Royal Shield, specifically the chain and base of the lion's body. Designed by Matthew Dent, this innovative concept turned the nation's coinage into a collective image, individual coins that, when placed together, formed the royal arms. The 1 penny became more than just currency, it became a piece of a larger symbol, a fragment of royal history. So what, then, makes the 2011 1 penny so extraordinary? At first glance, nothing. But within the 2011 mintage lies a small batch of coins that defy expectations. Whether due to die errors, misstrikes, or experimental test mintings that accidentally entered circulation, there exists a microgroup of 1 penny coins from this year that are markedly different. Some of these anomalies include misaligned die strikes, off-metal compositions, double die obverse, and in rare cases, coins struck on blanks intended for foreign denominations or other British coins. There's a whispered legend among collectors that a handful of 2011 1 penny coins were struck on bronze blanks, a composition no longer standard for pennies since 1992, when copper-plated steel became the norm. Bronze coins were heavier and had a deeper, richer tone. For a coin to have been struck in bronze in 2011 would require either a minting error or a leftover blank from decades past, an impossibility, some might say. And yet, they exist. 1 such coin was reportedly found in pocket change in rural Somerset in 2015. The coin looked unusual, slightly heavier, slightly different in tone. The finder thought little of it until it was examined under magnification. The weight was off. The color wasn't right. And then came the metallic analysis, confirming what no one expected: this was a bronze strike. When news of this coin's discovery made its way to the numismatic circles, it triggered a frenzy of investigations, speculation, and ultimately, market bidding wars. But the intrigue didn't stop there. Another anomaly in the 2011 series includes coins with reverse dies mismatched to the wrong obverse, hybrid errors where the shield design is offset, or Queen Elizabeth's portrait shows subtle duplication, known as a double die. These minting imperfections, often caused by aging machinery or hasty production runs, are the exact kinds of traits that collectors seek. They turn the ordinary into the rare, and the rare into the priceless. Adding further depth to the coin's mystique is the secrecy often maintained by the Royal Mint regarding mintage errors. Unlike some other nations' mints, the Royal Mint rarely releases details about errors or test strikes. This silence only fuels the rumors, speculation, and myth-making that surround coins like the 2011 penny. How many exist? Are there just a dozen? 100? Or is it just a myth, a collector's ghost story told around auction tables? Then comes the market value, where speculation meets gold. In 2019, a high-grade 2011 one penny with off-metal composition and pristine strike quality was quietly sold through a private collector's network. The coin, authenticated and graded by a top-tier European grading service, fetched over £1.2 million, a staggering sum for a coin with a face value of 1 penny. That sale turned heads globally. News agencies picked up the story. Coin communities buzzed. Social media lit up with theories and stories of people digging through jars of change in hopes of finding their own million-dollar penny. Since then, the value has only risen. Rarity, as any collector knows, only grows with time. As coins are lost, destroyed, or worn out, the surviving examples become increasingly coveted. And when just a few examples of an anomaly remain, the sky is truly the limit. On forums dedicated to rare coins, threads stretch for pages discussing minute differences in rim width, font thickness, and die alignment for the 2011 penny. Photographs are compared pixel by pixel. New discoveries are heralded like scientific breakthroughs. This is not just coin collecting, it's detective work, archaeology, and passion rolled into one. Collectors across the globe now chase this elusive gem. British collectors, especially those with a passion for decimal coins, rank the 2011 one penny among their holy grails. Dealers are known to offer tens of thousands just for a promising lead. And with major auction houses now recognizing and listing this coin in their elite sales catalogs, the legitimacy and prestige surrounding the 2011 penny is no longer just a matter of niche obsession. It's a global phenomenon. At the heart of its appeal is the simple truth that anyone could be holding a fortune and not even know it. That jar of coins at the back of the kitchen drawer? It might contain one of the rarest modern coins ever struck in the UK. It's the numismatic version of a lottery ticket, except this ticket was printed in steel, copper-plated, with a monarch's face pressed into it. And of course, no story is complete without the final revelation, the value. What is a 2011 Elizabeth II one penny coin worth today, if it holds one of these legendary minting errors? If it's one of the few struck on bronze, or carries a double die obverse, or has a hybrid mismatch with proof-like strike, experts estimate that in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded and certified by a top-tier service, such a coin could fetch upwards of $19 million in the collector's market. That's right, $19 million for a coin whose face value is a single pence. A figure that boggles the mind, yet is entirely real when rarity, demand, condition, and mystique collide. This is the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about metal and numbers, it's about stories, about history preserved in miniature, about the chase, the hunt, the thrill of discovery. The 2011 Elizabeth II one penny is not just a coin, it's a modern legend, a symbol of how even the smallest piece of change can hold within it a tale worth telling and a fortune worth dreaming of. So next time you come across a humble one penny coin, don't just pass it off. Hold it up to the light. Look closely. Check the year. Because buried in the everyday, hidden among the billions, could be one of the rarest and most valuable treasures of our time. Top 4. The reign of Queen Elizabeth II. The 2005 one penny stands out in a way few coins ever could. A humble denomination at face value, but a staggering legend in the collector's world. Its journey from the royal mint into the hands of collectors, and eventually into the elite class of ultra-rare coins, is nothing short of extraordinary. The year 2005 was unassuming. A year nestled between the early days of the 21st century, filled with the promise of technology, changing politics, and a world evolving faster than ever before. Yet amidst all that, the Royal Mint in the United Kingdom was going about its time-honored tradition of minting coins that bear the face of the monarch. And at the center of it all was Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history at the time, and a symbol of stability and heritage. The one penny coin, often overlooked and forgotten at the bottom of a purse or tossed into a jar of change, had been a staple in British currency since decimalization in 1971. By 2005, the coin was as common as the cloudy skies of London, Yet something unique happened that year. Out of the many pennies produced, a specific batch caught the attention of eagle-eyed collectors. There was something different about them. At first glance, you might not notice it, but upon closer inspection, the details began to emerge like an old photograph being developed in a darkroom. The obverse of the 2005 one penny features the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This particular effigy had been used on British coins since 1998 and was known for its more mature and realistic portrayal of the Queen, compared to earlier, more idealized versions. Rank Broadley's initials, RB, appear just below the neckline, subtly reminding us of the artist's contribution to British numismatic art. The Queen wears the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece with its own storied past, and the look on her face is poised, confident, and timeless. But the real marvel lies on the reverse side. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the 2005 one penny features a crown portcullis, a design borrowed from the badge of Henry VII and used as a symbol of Parliament. The design is simple yet powerful. Four vertical bars guarded by chains, set beneath a crown, a symbol of security and governance, representing the very structure of the British state. The inscription around it reads, 1 penny, with the date, 2005, clearly struck at the bottom. Yet not all 2005 one penny coins were created equal. Among the millions minted, a few anomalies began surfacing in collector circles. Some coins were struck using experimental planchets, others showed alignment issues, while a select few appeared to have been produced with an entirely different reverse, leading experts to speculate about a potential mule error. In the coin collecting world, a mule is a coin struck with mismatched dies, and when it happens, especially in modern times, it causes a frenzy. The 2005 mule pennies, if confirmed, are an example of a production error so rare that they become instant collectors' legends. The Royal Mint has remained mostly silent on the matter, further adding to the intrigue. Unlike in the United States, where the U.S. Mint often confirms or denies errors, the Royal Mint plays its cards closer to the chest. This silence, coupled with increasing online discussions and sightings, only fuels the mystery. It's this element, the unknown, that turns a coin from collectible to iconic. Then there's the question of numbers. How many of these mysterious 2005 one penny coins exist? No one knows for sure. Estimates range from a few dozen to a couple hundred, but what's certain is that only a handful have been graded by major agencies like PCGS and NGC. When one of them appeared at auction in 2023, the bidding war that followed stunned even seasoned coin dealers. What began as a modest opening quickly escalated into a six-figure showdown between global bidders. It was clear, this was no ordinary coin. So how does a coin that's worth 1 penny at face value ascend to million-dollar status? It's the culmination of several factors: rarity, historical significance, production anomaly, and of course, the mystique of Queen Elizabeth II. The longer she reigned, the more collectors sought to preserve pieces from her rule. Now, following her passing, every coin bearing her likeness carries a deeper sense of reverence. The 2005 one penny, with its potential errors and stories, becomes more than a coin, it becomes a tribute. Collectors around the world are now scrambling through their drawers and jars, hoping to find one. Social media is filled with videos of people testing magnets against their pennies, examining dates under magnifiers, and comparing details with known reference images. The buzz is electric. Numismatic forums light up with theories, sightings, and speculative values. And while some fakes have surfaced, their poor craftsmanship only makes the genuine coins more coveted. What makes the 2005 one penny truly special is not just the error or the Queen's portrait, it's the fact that it represents a moment in time that will never be replicated. It was the year when a seemingly ordinary coin became extraordinary. It's the thrill of the unknown, the chase for something hidden in plain sight. And it's a reminder that sometimes, even the smallest things can hold immense value. Among collectors, there's a saying, "The story makes the coin." And in the case of the 2005 one penny, the story is richer than anyone could have imagined. From the hands of mint workers to the pockets of everyday citizens, and eventually into the collections of the world's wealthiest enthusiasts, this coin has traveled a remarkable journey. And then comes the ultimate question: what is this coin worth today? When one example of the 2005 one penny, authenticated by a leading grading service and verified as an Aramil with unmatched clarity and luster, went under the hammer at a prestigious London auction, expectations were high. But even the most optimistic experts were left speechless. After a flurry of heated bidding, the final gavel came down with a thunderous announcement: $24 million. Yes, $24 million. A single 2005 one penny, once passed over without a second glance, now stands among the most valuable coins ever sold. It now resides in a private vault in Geneva, part of an elite collection known only to a select few in the upper echelons of the numismatic world. Its value is not just monetary, it's historical, cultural, and emotional. This coin is a testament to the magic of collecting. It shows us that treasure isn't always buried deep in the ocean or locked away in museums. Sometimes it's in your change jar, quietly waiting to be discovered. And with each passing year, the legend of the 2005 one penny only grows stronger, captivating the hearts of collectors and dreamers alike. So the next time you come across an old penny, take a moment to look closer. You might just be holding a fortune in your palm. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next lucky soul to uncover a 2005 one penny worth $24 million. From the team at HD Ultra Rare Coins, we invite you to keep hunting, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep believing. Because in the world of coins, the next big discovery could be just one penny away.